It's been 2 weeks since I treated my pepper plants with soapy water for aphids. When I did treat them for aphids, I came back the next day and all the aphids were dead. This is a really simple recipe and it works well because what it does is when the soap dries, it dries up the aphids and then they die. So let me show you my little recipe. First thing you want to do is you want to get some liquid soap. Make sure it's not liquid detergent. Here we just have some that I just grabbed off the counter. I'll have a link below this video for this dish soap if you're looking for a 100% natural dish soap. This happens to be made out of coconut oil. At any rate, what you want to do is you want to put in 1 or 2 tablespoons per quart of water. I've got a 1-gallon spray bottle here that I'll use to spray down my pepper plants and probably adjointing plants just in case the aphids are wanting to spread. I've got a 1-gallon pitcher here and I've got a paint stirrer. I'm actually going to put 6 tablespoons of liquid dish soap into the water and then stir it with the paint stirrer. That way it doesn't get all bubbly, and then I'll just pour this into here. I've got this about 3/4 of the way full. It's just easier for me to stir, and then I'll top it off with the water I'm getting from the rain capture system we have here. Actually, if you haven't seen my rain capture system video, we capture 1,600 gallons of water for every inch of rain that lands on our roof. So we get quite a bit of water, and these tanks are pretty much full all the time, even though it doesn't rain here all the time. But with 1 inch of rain, these will definitely fill up. These are 275-gallon totes, and we've got a few of them around the house. Please watch my video on the rain catchment system. I'll have a link below the video. I mix the soap in with the water. It's important to add the soap to the water. Don't put the soap in first and then add the water because you're going to end up with a container full of bubbles. Stirred it up with the paint stirrer, topped it off. Now I'm just going to pour this into the hand pump spray. This makes it a lot easier for me to apply it to the plants instead of a hand spray bottle and having to pump the handle every time I want to spray. Here I just pump it up and let the air pressure apply it to the plants. After trying to pump up this sprayer on the left, I realized really how bad it is. And so I went and got a Roundup brand sprayer. I'm not a Roundup fan, nor do I use it, but they make really good pump sprayers. You can see this one's marked for BT, but it was empty. So I went ahead and put the soapy water in it. The quality of the sprayer is much better than what I had pulled out of the garden shed. You can just tell everything about it is much better quality, even down to the brass spray tip here. This plastic's much more heavy duty. Everything is much better constructed. It's worth it to make one investment that'll last you for decades instead of one that you'll be frustrated with. So anyway, off to the pepper plants. The reason soapy water works to killing aphids and other insects is because it gets on their skin and dries them out. The same is also true for plants. If you spray it on the plant leaves, which is exactly what we're going to be doing here, it can dry them out. I'm in late afternoon and I'm in shade for the rest of the evening. So this will have a chance to dry but not cook or damage the leaves as much. This damage here was caused last time I did it with the soapy spray, but it was worth it because these plants were covered with aphids. Whenever I come out, I usually just turn over leaves on my plants and see if there are any bugs on here. As you can see, we do have aphids here. And so I try to get them before they become a problem. When I spray, I do not wash the aphids off with water first because that doesn't make sense to me. You knock them off and you spray the plant and you're not getting any on the aphids. The idea is you want to kill the aphids, so I don't rinse them off and I don't rinse the soap off the plants either. I spray both sides of the leaves, top and bottom, and make sure I get at least 70% of the plant covered, and I spray until it's dripping. So I really am doing my best to cover the plant with the soapy water. I think the process, in addition to the ratio of soap to water, makes a difference too. So I use 1 to 2 tablespoons of liquid soap, not liquid detergent, to a quart of water. There's 4 quarts of water in a gallon. I'm using a gallon container, so I'm using 6 tablespoons. I don't pre-spray the plant to knock the aphids off, and I don't come back later and rinse the soap off. That seems to work best for me. Do what works for you. Now I'm going to go ahead and spray the plants. So here you can see I'm just spraying the plants down. Has a nice soft spray on here. Get everything all wet. I'm not worrying about putting too much on. I want it to be dripping wet. And I'm going to make sure I get every leaf. I'm going to go all the way down this row. And then I'm going to come back and turn the hose over and make sure I get underneath every leaf also. So make sure you're upwind when you do this, because you can get soapy water on you. I actually think it's more important to get the bottom of the leaves than it is the top, because these bugs like to hide in the shade of the leaves. So make sure you come underneath and get all underneath the leaves. You can do this early morning or in the late afternoon or early evening when the sun's not directly on the plants. The soapy water has been sprayed on at least 70% of the entire plant, including top and bottom of the leaves. I can come in here, and if I had the time, I could sit here and just watch these aphids dry up. I'll come back out tomorrow or in a couple days and see if they're dead. If they're not, I'll reapply with a stronger dosage. I would put a full 2 tablespoons of soap in a quart of water. Here I only used about 1.5. This helps you get rid of your aphids and insect problems. It's very inexpensive, and using a pump sprayer instead of a hand pump bottle can save you a lot of time and a cramped hand. I've done it both ways. It's definitely worth the investment for a pump sprayer that you can use for many different things. This is LDS Prepper reminding you, if you are prepared, you shall not fear. And for just a few dollars for soap and a pump sprayer, you can get rid of your aphids.